we have here. Starting from the left, we have our Vice President of this great university, Honorable Malis, who is here with us. You can wave to the congregation. He's here with us. We have one of us as well, Mr. Michael Nakavale. He's also with us here. And then we have the board members of the Electoral Commission, and that's why we are here today. With my extreme left, we have Mr. Ogeta Kenneth. He's a member of the Electoral Commission. You can wave to the congregation. And then we have Mr. Okodi, the chairman, Electoral Commission, and that's why we are here. You can say hi to the congregation. And so, in our house as well, we have our support staff of the building. I can see Mr. Kenneth with us, and then with his fellow staff still with us in the house. And then if I cross over to the other side, I have members of the aspiring committee, and there are very many. I don't know if I'll make mention of all of them. Can I do that? Or they can as well just say hi. We are on time, eh? So let me just allow them wave to us, a general wave, and then they can have a seat of their. They have. So, and then important to note, we have media houses amongst us, and therefore we shall have at most a discipline in the house so that we don't have the image of our university damaged outside. Please, let's do that. And then on the panel seat today, we have our 4 presidential aspirants who are looking so gorgeous tonight, and I believe they have come with a lot of fire and zeal to tell us why they are here and why we should vote for them in their next cabinet. Starting from my extreme left, I have Honorable Your Excellency Mr. Ian Baseke. Next to him is Her Excellency Honorable Nangome Veronica. And then next to her is His Excellency Mr. Azaria Kigen. And then close to me here is His Excellency Honorable Malama David Kwame. So those are the people that we are with in the house today, and we are going to have really an exciting event tonight. So I request that once we are here, please let us have utmost discipline and utmost audience so that we can listen to why we are here tonight. So at this juncture, therefore, allow me welcome our chairman, Electoral Commission, to come and give us his opening remarks and officially open for us the debate so that we can have our debate start. You're so most welcome, Mr. Chair. Just one. Even this one will work. I don't know who is going to use this table.
Yes, thank you. Our moderators, uh, the members of the guild present, members of the Electoral Commission, aspiring candidates, and the entire gallantry of Ernest Cook University. My name is Deogratius Given Okodi, the chairperson, Electoral Commission 2025-2026. And I am really profoundly honored and exceedingly humbled to be your chair. A special vote of thanks goes to our aspiring guild presidents. The four of them, up to now, have exhibited a high level of mobilization, a high level of leadership, what we need for our university. And so, I was simply asked to give you the opening remarks, but we know the day is about the three gentlemen and the one some people call Iron Lady. We have moved through our electoral processes from roadmap to nominations, and our candidates showed a high level of enthusiasm. They vied for these positions, came to us in these large numbers. They wowed the institution. They went through the process of vetting, where they appeared before a very competent electoral tribunal. Trust me, it was hot there, but they are hotter. After vetting, we went through the campaigns, and our campaigns is in its terminal stage. And that's why we have this debate tonight. Why have we organized this debate? We want to move away from the cheap drama and hoopla of the campaign rally. We want to listen to these people dissect for us the fundamental issues of our university. We want to see their discourse in oratory skills. We want to see their potency, their eloquence, and how they are vivid enough to champion our challenges. And so this is a very fundamental debate that perhaps we want to turn a corner away from the politics of what I would term the mundane. In this debate, we shall differentiate the winners from the losers. In this debate, we shall differentiate the agile from the docile. In this debate, we shall differentiate the adept from the inept. It's in this debate that perhaps we have a guild president. We are making history tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the Electoral Commission, we organize this presidential debate with support from the Guild Cabinet, with support from the management of Ernest Cook University. I welcome you all to this debate. Have a good time.
Okay, DJ. Thank you very much, Chairperson Del Gracias. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to read the rules and regulations of the room such that we are on the same page. And if you fall a victim, this time we have the chief whip. They are, please, you can start acting. Act as much as you can. Okay, the aspirants, the presidential aspirants, while you were away, we had rules and regulations put in place. And the first one is timekeeping. Timekeeping. We are going to ask you questions. We have minutes for you, and we ask of you to comply to the minutes. We are going to have a timekeeper that is going to keep time as you answer the questions. The second one is that any form of violence or use of vulgar language is highly prohibited. We don't want to see supporters of different candidates violating each other, throwing bitter words at each other. We want to have peace because above all, we are all from the same body and we are all students of Ernest Cook University, on top of having our different tastes and preferences in terms of presidential aspirants. The third one is silence should be highly observed, especially for the session we are going for. We need to clearly listen to these gentlemen and lady as they convince us. Lastly, maximum respect from supporters towards the opponent. This, I mean, let's say, for example, Malaba is saying something. We don't expect Joan's supporters to come in and start disturbing him or intimidating him. We don't want such things. Thank you. If that happens, we shall have no option but to kick you out. Yes. I hope I'm clear. Do I need to repeat myself? No. Good. I've been crystal clear, and without wasting time, let's go to the first one of the debate, which is going to be introduction of these candidates. Yeah? Please give them maximum attention. Apart from the songs, apart from we need to know who Joan is. Do you get my point? Apart from Peva, we need to know who Malaba is. Yeah? Yes. So at this juncture, I think I'm going to invite you, my colleague, to come and take us through.
We are sitting here, so you pick your piece.
Yes, so DJ, thank you. So I'd like to take this opportunity to bring to our notice that finally our debate has started. So here are the rules of the debate, our honorables. We are going to have 4 phases of the debate. We are going to have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then phase 4. What happens in each of these phases? Phase 1 is self-introduction. So while we are seated on these seats is to give you a chance to have the table and then speak to you, the electorate, and let them know who you are. So in phase one, we are going to have you introduce yourselves, and your time is 2 minutes. So I would like to request us to have a timekeeper that at exactly 2 minutes, we shall be done. 2 minutes per candidate for self-introduction. I hope we know that. And then in phase two, we are going to start our questions. And in phase two, our questions are going to relate with our manifestos. So we shall have questions in relation to manifestos. And one question is carrying 1 minute. One question per minute. Now, how are the questions going to be? There are questions that are going to be answered by all of us, and there are questions that are going to be answered on an individual basis. That's why we had a shuffle of our choice downstairs. So we have our questions ready, and they have been coded to the choices that we had. And then in phase three, we are going to ask questions in relation to our logic. So we shall have logical questions. And then in phase four, we shall have a cross-examination. How will I say this? We are going to give chance to the audience to at least give each one of us a question. And we shall have cross-examination carrying 10 minutes at least. I hope we are okay with that. So straight away, let us start with phase one, and therefore allow me, in our order that we had chosen, start with letter A, and that is Azaria Kigel. So you can go to the podium and then have 2 minutes of yourself introduced. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, students of Ernest Cook University. I recognize the presence of the Electoral Commission in our midst, our panelists, our dear ministers, the fans for different presidential candidates in their order. I welcome you to this debate today. I would love it should be a debate of impact, a debate that teaches us, that makes us make decisive decisions. And therefore, my name is Kigel Azaria, an aspiring girl president at Ernest Cook University. I am in year 3.1, pursuing diploma in medical radiography. And therefore, I stand before you today, not as an experimenter, but a person who understands this system up to their ground roots. And therefore, I ask you to be open-minded and listen carefully. Listen to the eloquence of your candidates. And that's why I'll conclude by saying, is my minute done? Okay, I'll conclude by saying, I will be glad and we will interact more when we are moving forward. May God bless you.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was Azaria Kigel. Next, ladies and gentlemen, let's have Malaba David Wabe.
Hello. Yes, good afternoon, fellow students, respected panelists, and fellow candidates. My name is Malaba David Ngwabe, a student at Ernest Cook University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in medical imaging, year 2. I stand before you today as a person who has suffered these things, the different challenges we have in the institution. As a person who has refused to sit back and see the different things occurring, one man said, victory comes to those who fight, not to those who cry. For the more you cry, the more your people continue to die. So you rise and defend your rights. I stand on time to address, a time to address the academic challenges, a time to address the accountability, a time to address the transparency within the institution, a time to address our welfare. So by this, I ask you to rally behind me. Come 15th April, we champion the goal of excellency. We cannot do it as a person, we can do it as a team. Leadership is not all about titles, not about privileges, but
Yes,
it
thank you
stands
so
on service.
much, Malava David, for your time is up.
Thank you so much.
So allow me next on stage call on Honorable Ian Baseke.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I am a student with sad news. I remember way back in 2024, I lost a colleague and a classmate, that was Kirabo Margaret. And after a period of 1 year, we lost our video Christine. So please join me and we have a moment of silence. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I recognize the presence of the Chancellor in his absentia, Vice Chancellor in his absentia, Academics Registrar, and teaching, the Guild President, and ministers around. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ian Jonathan Baseke. DMR 2.2 student. Hopefully, I'll be completing my course next year in June. That is 2027. I've got the privilege to serve in different positions at Ernest Cook University. I've been a class rep of my very class. I've served in the CHUMISA, that's Ernest Cook University Medical Imaging Students Association, as the publicity secretary. And I got the chance to serve as the president Ecuban of Ernest Cook University. Standing before you, pardon?
Your time is up. It was 1, right? It was 1 minute. Thank you so much, Ian. Ladies and gentlemen, lastly on the list this time, we have the only lady, Joan Nagombe Veronica.
Good afternoon to all of you here. My name is Nagombe Joan Veronica, a third-year biomedical engineering student at Ernest Cook University, and a presidential aspirant here, kindly asking you to support Joan for Guild presidency. As the slogan goes, bridging vessel, so I'm here to build a bridge, not walls. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, lady, for keeping time. I commend you for that. Let's go to the next phase. What we are going to do is we are going to have questions, general questions. All of you are going to give us answers. We are going to ask you one question at a time. You give us answer and you have 2 minutes to answer. I stand to be corrected, it's 1 minute. You have 1 minute to answer these questions. Yeah. Without wasting time, so we are going to follow the order for this particular question, the order at which you introduced yourself. I hope you still remember. And the question goes, If you are sworn in, what is the one specific tangible change students will see on campus by your 100th day sprint? Do I need to repeat myself? Azaria says I don't need to repeat myself. Okay, allow me repeat for the audience. If Azaria is sworn in, what is the one specific tangible change as the students will see on campus by his 100th day in power? Azaria, 1 minute is what you have, and it starts now.
Okay. 100 days is too much for me. I need just few days to make change. And this change will be felt by the student fraternity of Ernest Cook University. 1 is listen, 2 is implement, 3 is dialogue with our administration, and we shall see change. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Azaria. Next on stage is Mr. Malaba David. The question reads, if you are sworn in, what is the one specific tangible change that students will see on campus by your 100th day in office?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. What will I do in the first 100 days? Yes, they're given us an expected time. We shall have the students taking part in decision making. That is 1. 2, we shall advocate for facilitation for the different individuals in their clinical years. Practically, we can take this. We pay functional fee. We can get 50,000 from each functional fee. We around 3,000 students. That is a total of 150 million, and we can acquire a bus or a coaster for facilitation for our people in the clinical years. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Malaba. If I've got him right, he says by his 100th day, we shall have a school coaster or bus. Yes? Okay. Without wasting time, Ian, do I need to repeat the question? Good.
All right.
Okay, Ian, allow me repeat the question. If Ian is sworn in, what is one specific, tangible change that we will see on campus by his 100th day?
Thank you for that question. I think you've heard the question very well, but for the 100 days at Ernest Cook University as the guilty president, students will be allowed to sit for exams on a 75%. And in addition to that, we shall have gazetted hostels for Ernest Cook University students. And then in addition to that, we shall have a sick bay at Block A that caters for the sick students. And then lastly, we shall have the accountability for TLDs, that's the translucent initiators for extra students. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ian. Next on stage is Honorable Veronica. So, Veronica, the question reads, if you are sworn in as the next guild president, what is the one specific and tangible change that the students will see on campus by your 100th day in office?
Thank you so much for that question. As it goes, in 100 days, there are many days, but still I'm not going to be working alone. I will be working with the administration. So something I have control with is uniting the students. As my slogan goes, I'm the bridging vessel. I'm looking forward to having all faculties in this institute united because I believe there is space out of Ernest Cook University. You're reaching a hospital and you're asked to recommend a biomedical engineer, and yet you do not have one. That is something I want to erase. I need us united. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Veronica. And I will ask you to remain on stage. Allow me to ask you to remain on stage. This time around, we are going to go up. We're going to go down, up. So that was question number 1. Question number 2 reads, 4 years from now, when we look back at your term, what is the single word you want students to associate with your presidency? Allow me to repeat the question. 4 years from now, when we look back at your term, what is the single word you want students to associate with your presidency?
Thank you so much. That's a beautiful question for me. As a lady, I applaud myself for the braveness of coming up for this presidency. So 4 years from now, I want to see ladies coming up and competing in this presidency because we can.
Thank you so much, Joanne. You can have your seat. Let's proceed to Mr. Ian. Yes. I'm repeating the question, Ian. Please listen keenly. 4 years from now, when we look back at your term, what is the single word you want students to associate with your presidency? Single word.
Thank you for that question. 4 years from now, I'd love students to acknowledge me for allowing them to go to Mulago National Referral to practice from there. And in addition to that,
Thank you so very much, Ian. Next on stage is Mr. Malava David. Permit me to repeat the question. 4 years from now, when we look back at your office, what is the single word you want students to associate with your leadership?
Practical.
Let's proceed to Azaria again. Allow me to repeat the question. I don't need to repeat. Okay.
Legacy.
Okay. Let's proceed. Question 3. There is often a gap between the administration and the student's body. How will you represent a student's grievance to the Vice Chancellor when you know that the administration is strictly against it? Do I need to repeat myself? Yes. There is often a gap between administration and the student's body. How will you represent a student's grievance to the Vice Chancellor when you know the administration is strictly against it?
Okay, thank you for that concern and question. My main reason why I stepped forward for leadership is to represent student voices, and that is my priority. My priority is not to be compromised by the administration. It is to sit down, dialogue with them, dissect these matters with vivid and find solutions, and I'll get back to the students, explain to them the outcome. We do not need to be compromised. We need aggressive leaders who will properly engage and negotiate with the administration, no matter how the challenges are, and no matter how they will be denying some of the challenges that we'll put across. we will not be compromised because we are aggressive and we have stepped forward to represent your voices, and you are my priority. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Next is Veronica. Can go on stage. The question reads, there is often a gap between the administration and the student body. How will you represent the student grievances to the Vice Chancellor even when you know that the school is against it?
Thank you so much for that question. My slogan still goes, the bridging vessel. So the bridges I'm building, they are for students to the administration. So leadership, I believe, requires boldness. I am a student representative. So as a student representative, these are grievances in students. I should be bold enough, face the Vice Chancellor on our grounds for students to get their rights. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, I think we are going to have Malaba next. Do I need to repeat the question? How will you represent a student grievance to the Vice Chancellor when you know that the administration is strictly against it?
First and foremost, what is bringing the bridge is communication between the individuals, that those are the students, and administration. Biblically, it is written that 2 or 3 cannot move unless they agree. So agreement between the students and administration will be the first option. Secondly, protocol at times is broken when the welfare is of students. In every company or institution, we have stakeholders. And in an institution like Ernest Cook University, the stakeholders are the students. So their priorities are supposed to be championed. That's why I came up and said it is a time to address. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Next to stage, Ian. Still, the question reads, there is always a gap between the administration and the student body. How best will you represent student grievances to the Vice Chancellor even when you know that the administration is against it?
Thank you for that question. For the years I've been at Ernest Cook University, I've never seen a General Assembly held. First and foremost, for that case, I, for one, as the guild president and with my cabinet, we push for a General Assembly with the administration so that matters are solved in the way that is done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ian. I'll still ask you to be on the podium. The next question reads, how will your administration ensure that students pursuing weekend programs feel just as safe and included as those pursuing day programs?
Thank you very much for that question. I, for one, I have friends in the weekend program, but still there is a bigger gap between the day students and the weekend students, because for them they start on a Saturday and a Sunday, in that most of the students on the weekend, they are not around. But through that, we hold activities that bring together the students, that we have a conjoined effort to see that these students get to each other. Thank you.
Okay. Let's have Mr. Kigen Azaria, and I'll repeat the question. How will your administration ensure that students pursuing weekend programs feel just as included and safe as those pursuing day programs?
It is weekend students. Mark that right. Weekend students, according to their admission, they are supposed to be here on a Friday and a Saturday. And the weekdays, they are working, okay? But we can make them be included. And that is why my manifesto My second manifesto captured inclusivity and engagement. And I am planning for them various activities, cultural galas, sports. They will participate. We will have porridge nights, and they will feel that they are included and supported in their guild activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Azaria. Veronica. Veronica, next on stage. The question reads, how will your administration ensure that students pursuing weekend programs feel just as safe and included as those pursuing day programs?
Thank you so much. Am I hard? Thank you so much. It was a concern as I was carrying on my campaigns. I happened to talk to one of the class representatives in the weekend program, and he told me they feel left out as the question stands. So one of the things I'm looking up to doing is having the weekend students represented from the Guild Council. We understand they cannot be at campus during the week. They are not full-time students, but this is the best we can do for them. Let them have a representative on the Guild Council. Let their concerns be raised through that person to the Guild Council, and so they will be dealt with. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's have Malama David next. Okay. How will your administration ensure that students pursuing weekend programs feel just as included and safe as those pursuing day programs?
Yes, there's a prominent slogan that says, united we stand and divided we fall. Leadership is not all about confrontation, nor is it about silence, but cooperation. That's why I embedded something that inclusivity in decision making. Students should be given chance to take part in decision making, in that their voices, the weekend students in this case, will be heard and will be represented on the Guild Council as well as on the different fraternities. Thank you so much.
Okay. Stay back, Mr. Malaba. Mr. David, please. That leads us to the next question. In one sentence, I repeat myself, in one sentence, is the Guild a government or a service provider? In one sentence.
Guild is not a government, it's a service provider, and is all about leadership, and leadership deals on service of the students. Thank you so much.
Veronica, let's have you on stage. The question goes, in one sentence, is the Guild a government or a service provider?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, the Guild is a service provider. This is where students are going to be represented. A Guild must be very conducive for all the students in the institute, where every student can approach the Guild to deliver proper services. Thank you so much.
Let's have the last man, Ian Baseke. Oh, second last. How will your administration, In one sentence, is the guild a government or a service provider?
Thank you so much for that question. A guild is a government because it is an independent body. It is.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian. Let's have Azaria on stage. So the question reads, yes, Chief Whip, let's do some work behind. The audience, please, let's have some silence. So, Azaria, the question reads, in one sentence, is the guild a government or a service provider?
The guild is a government.
Thank you, and I will ask you to stay on stage. Go back to stage. Yes, let's have some silence. Let's have some silence. The next question says, if you could achieve, the audience, please. This question says, if you could achieve and accomplish one thing and fail at everything else, what will that one thing be? Allow me to repeat the question. It says, if you could achieve and accomplish one thing and fail at everything else, what could that one thing be?
I have not come to serve, I have come to deliver. And that is my slogan. I will deliver.
Okay.
The audience is confused. That one thing is delivery.
Okay, I think let's have Ian. Ian, if you could only accomplish one thing and fail at everything else, what would that be?
Thank you for that question. That one thing that I would accomplish is the accountability for the money we pay, because it is a big amount. Thank you.
Veronica, let's have you on stage. The question goes, if you could achieve one thing and fail at everything else, what could that one thing be?
Thank you so much. According to one of the school core values, where we have result orientation, I am not failing on that. We need to reduce the numbers of students who are getting retakes in this institute. Wow. If the guild fee cannot reduce, then how am I going to work with my academic minister, the one who will be elected, with our class representatives, to have students get good grades and we minimize the number of retakes? Thank you so much.
Let's have Mr. Malaba next. Mr. Malaba, if you could only accomplish one thing and fail at everything else, what would that be?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. It is stated, one bird in hand is better than 1,000 in the forest. So that one thing I would be comfortable with, even if the rest remain, is we should not have students dropping out of school because of funds. Yet the institution has different funding programs, different things are behind that, which has not been sensitized to the students, that can generate funds for students in one way or the other, and no student will drop out of school because of lack of funds. I practically experienced this with the colleagues. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Let's have Miss Joan. Let's have Miss Joan. I think it's time to switch the volume a little bit. Don't you think so? We've heard your views on the internal affairs. Let's put the bus and move out a little bit. In 1 minute, discuss the relationship between Iran and USA. Do I need to repeat myself? Joan, let's board a flight and go to the USA. I don't want to leave you behind. In 1 minute, discuss for me the relationship between Iran and USA.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. That is really a tough question for me, I admit, but no. My review that I can give upon that, I know Iran is engaged in a war currently, and USA is not in support of that war. Yes.
Thank you so very much, Veronica. Let's have Ian on board. Yes, Mr. Ian. In 1 minute, discuss for us the current relationship between Iran and USA.
Thank you so much for that question. First and foremost, Iran and US are business partners. If you've ever heard of that, see where the Strait of Hormuz, that's where that's why you see oil prices in Uganda increasing, just that there is a gap in between but the business partners. Thank you so much.
Let's have Mr. Malaba. I want to believe I've boarded a flight with you and we've seen what's happening in the USA. In 1 minute, discuss the current relationship between Iran and USA.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Basing on the current relation between Iran and America, USA, they're in scramble for resources. In that, violence cannot solve anything, but peace can solve things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. David. So, Mr. Azaria, we are still on the same flight, and we are across border. Our question still remains. In 1 minute, please discuss the relationship between USA and Iran.
Okay. Early in 2026, the relationship between Iran. Can we listen? Can we listen? Okay. Listen, please. Please, please. The relationship between Iran and USA was dismantled in 2026 when it began with exchange of missiles between Iran and USA. This is because of various reasons. They are trying to dismantle, we call it the atomic bombs that are within Iran. And this has caused a lot to the nation. And this comes back to us. The decisions we make as leaders always affect those who are below us. And that is why you're seeing up to Uganda, we are affected economically and lives are being lost. So we should embrace unity as leaders and know that our decisions affect the community.
Thank you so much. And I'll still ask you to remain. So, Mr. Arzaria, following what you have just told us, Our question reads, do you believe that the 2026 negotiations that are taking place in Geneva will lead to a ceasefire for a long time? Let me repeat the question. Do you believe that the 226 Geneva negotiations will lead to a ceasefire for a lasting time?
Okay, thank you so much. This comes back to the types of leadership that we have today. Let me open our minds. The peace talk at Geneva is looking at ceasefire of Russia and Ukraine war. Therefore, Russia has a system of administration called monarchy, and Ukraine has the other called democratic way. Therefore, there is a very big difference. I believe with dialogue and sitting down and engaging these leaders, we are not sure because we are not there. We may come to a conclusion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's have Mr. Ian Baseke. I want to believe we are still in the same flight. Do you believe that 2026 negotiations in Geneva will lead to a lasting ceasefire?
Thank you for that question. I do not believe that there will be a ceasefire since our Ukraine and Russia are still in the war. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so very much. Let's have Malaba on stage. So, Mr. Malaba, in relation to what you told us, do you believe that the negotiations taking place currently in Geneva will have a ceasefire for life?
Yes, I do believe. As I told you earlier, 2 or 3 cannot move unless they agree. Them being on the round table, reasoning out the consequences of war may come out something special. That is a peace talk, and I believe it will cease fire. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Malavan, I will still ask you to stand on the podium as our next question reads. Hey, you haven't gone. So sorry. Like I take up, and then you'll come in. Thank you.
Oh yes, Joanne. Miss Joanne, I beg your pardon. Do you believe the 2026 negotiations in Geneva will lead to a lasting ceasefire?
It may not, or it may. Thank you so much.
Okay. That was John for you.
Thank you so very much, John. So Malava, I still call you back. So now at this time, we are boarding our flight back from US, and we are now coming to Africa. So we are now in Africa. The question goes, as per the early year of 2026, Ethiopia is still in the year of 2018-2019, whereas the rest of the world is already in 2026. Which calendar does Ethiopia use, and at what time do you think their 2019 will start?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Which calendar do they use? They use the Greek calendar. Thank you so much.
Okay, I would love to have Joanne next. Miss Joanne. Back on stage, I was telling my colleagues, can you listen? Back on stage, I was telling my colleagues that if it were possible, all ladies should be Ethiopians. Just imagine being the same age for 4 years. That's nice. The question reads, Joanne, As per early 2026, Ethiopia is in the year 2018-2019, whereas the rest of the world is in 2026. Which calendar does Ethiopia use, and at what time does their year begin?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am not in the know.
Thank you so very much. Let's have Ian. So, Mr. Ian, we are back to Africa. So we are saying, as per the early year of 2026, Ethiopia was still in the year 2018, 2019. And yet the rest of the world is already in 2026. So what kind of calendar do you think they are using?
There
And
is a-
besides, when is their next year beginning?
They use a Gregorian calendar.
Okay, lastly, let's have Mr. Azario. Let me repeat the question. As per, could we, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen, please. As per the early 2026,